What is up guys, this is Tito back with another video on the Redmi Note 7 Pro, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you the latest SparkOS based on Android 12, and this is the SparkOS version 12.1 2nd March 2022 build. And the change logs, there is the quick tap support right now, we have the face unlock, then we have the status bar height increased, and the VSync kind of support is there. We also have this TTS4 stop warning for decrypted users, and there are some notes which says the ROM is encrypted by default. But let me tell you, on my Redmi Note 7 Pro, my device is decrypted and I have flashed the v3 over here after the ROM. So if you don't know how to actually flash this ROM, you can check out the guide from the description. Also, let me tell you, I have used the latest official Orange Box recovery, and with that I have flashed the firmware and the ROM, and then I flashed the v3 and I just rebooted. Before that, I just wiped cache, Dalvik system and data and vendor. That's how I clean flash a ROM, and that worked super fine over here. I moved from another Android 12 ROM, but if you're coming from MIUI, you have to format the data once. Talking about the Android version section, this is how it looks like. We have the Android version as Android 12, and the security patch is of latest February 5th, 2022, not quite March yet. Even though this is a March official build, the SparkOS version is also mentioned, which says 12.1 official for Violet, and this is the GApps included build. The maintainer's name is mentioned over here too. Niranjan is the developer of this ROM, so huge thanks to the developers of these ROMs. And this ROM is actually giving amazing experience on the Redmi Note 7 Pro. And here we have the stock kernel as the 4.14.246 Litten kernel, and we have the SLinux status mentioned as enforcing, and here is the build number. That's it for the about section. Now let me go into the system. In the system, on the bottom we have the thermal profiles. As you can see, there is the default benchmark, browser, camera, dialer, gaming and streaming. You can set per app thermal profiles, so that's great. We have the gestures right here. We do have the quick tap, and let me actually show you if I have enabled this one. And right now, if I double tap on the back, as you can see, it takes a screenshot, and you can delete the screenshot from right here. Also, we have the 3-finger swipe to take a screenshot. It also has this Google Lens kind of support, so that is great. You can edit the screenshot out too, no issues with that. And if you are somewhere where there is a lot of scrolling area, let me actually show you like this one. If I take a screenshot, we also get the capture mode right there. So as you can see, this is the capture mode. So if you tap on that right here, as you can see, you can take even longer screenshots. So this is great that we do have the editing and the longer screenshot options over here. We do have the quickly open camera, and the gesture navigation is also there. I have been using the full screen gestures, and if you go to the settings, we have the swipe to invoke assistant, and right here if you swipe up from the corners, as you can see, Google Assistant does appear. So as this thing is turned on, let me try the voice trigger. Okay Google. As you can see, the voice trigger is working perfectly fine. Let's try one more time. Hey Google. As you can see, again, it is working great. So Google Assistant is working 100% of the time, no issues whatsoever. We also have the left edge, right edge kind of customization for back height, and we have the back sensitivity. Then we also have the advanced gestures, so you can have the extended swipe actions, and you can actually customize that, so that's great. Let me go back. We have the gesture bar length and the radius customization. I did change it, that's why it looks like this. And we also have the full screen gestures. If you enable this one, it will hide the pill bar right there. So yeah, you have a lot of options for the full screen gestures. We also have the 2-button and 3-button navigations too. One-handed mode is present, and we have the swipe to screenshot, the prevent ringing and stuff. Let me go back. The live translate option is also there, so you can use that. And we have the Gboard as the default keyboard, if you're noticing. Now here in the system panel, we do not get any system updater, even though this is an official ROM, but I think they will be added in the future updates. And this is how the settings panel looks like. It has these segments, and on the top we have the fireworks. There we have all the customizations, which I'll show you later on, but right now this is how the home screen looks like. To the left of the home screen, we have the Google's Discover page, and yes, scrolling through them is working perfectly fine, but it takes a little bit time to load. Of course, it's normal. Swiping down anywhere in the home screen gets you the quick setting panel. This is how it looks like. I have been using the Accu battery app and the internet speed meter, so that's why it looks like this. And if you swipe down, this is how the quick setting panel looks like when expanded, and you can swipe to actually see more quick setting toggles, and you can edit them out from right here. And if you're noticing, a lot of quick setting toggles are there, and there is the segments on these buttons. If you're noticing up close, you will see a little bit of difference. There is a border. Once you enable the dark theme, these borders become more prominent. But yeah, this is how it looks, and it looks beautiful, I would say. Now I'll show you the quick setting panel stuff later on, but let me show you. We have this app drawer, of course. Now talking about this launcher, this is really interesting. This is the launcher 12 present by default. It has huge amount of customizations everywhere. If you go to the home screen and stuff, you will see a lot of customizations are there, even the app drawer and stuff. So launcher has amazing amount of customization, the best almost. And we also have this Android 12 clock widget and stuff working super fine, and all the widgets that I'm using are working fine here. Now double tapping anywhere in the home screen makes the phone sleep, and it works 100% of the time. Let's tap the fingerprint scanner, and as you can see, it has unlocked. Let me enable the always on display, and here if I double tap right now, this is how the always on display will look. Even the double tap to wake should work. Okay, so the double tap to wake for some reason is not working, but yeah, let me try one more time. So the double tap to wake right now is not working. Maybe some settings are disabled, not really sure why, but yeah, the fingerprint scanner is working 100% of the time if you are looking up close. As you can see, this is how the animation looks. Let me show you one more time. As you can see, fingerprint scanner works very reliably, no issues whatsoever. But also here you get the face unlock. So if you point the device towards your face, it really unlocks fast. And let me show you one more time with the power button. If I just tap it, as you can see, it unlocks. So yeah, face unlock speed is very good over here right now. And in Android 12, we are getting face unlock, and that's simply great in my frank opinion. And we have these quick toggles. Let me show you now. We have this date and widget toggle, the time over here in the quick setting panel, and we have the Wi-Fi and other signal stuff. Then we have the battery right there and how long it will last. Then we have the brightness slider up top. We have the Wi-Fi, then the mobile data, and I don't have a SIM card in the device, that's why it's disabled. And we have the battery saver, the dark theme, the screen recorder. Of course, you can use the device audio and the microphone audio at the same time for the screen recorder. And we have the always on display toggling option, then the hotspot. Do not disturb is also there, the data saver is there. Night light is also working fine. Let me actually enable it. And as you can see right now, the display is going yellowish. So yeah, night light is working perfectly fine. Heads up is there, then the device controls is also there. You can control the Google Home Smart Controls. And we have the reboot toggle right there. You can tap and hold on it to actually reboot to the recovery. Then we have the sound toggle too. So if you tap and hold on it, you get the volume panel just like this. And this volume panel you can actually expand just like this. Let me actually go into the home screen so that I can show you this better. As you can see, this is how it looks like. Pretty beautiful expansion over here. And we have the volume panel option separately. Then we have the FPS counter. Once you enable the FPS counter, the FPS appears on the left top over there, and you can see the FPS in real time while gaming or something. This is very helpful. Also on the quick setting panel, we do have the power menu kind of button, and if you tap on it, we have the power off, restart. Then inside advanced reboot, we have the directly rebooting option to the recovery, fast boot, or just the system UI you can reboot. Now talking about the stock camera, we do have the ANX camera version 204 right out of the box. And that's just great. And here the front camera, everything is working fine, and even the portrait mode is working fine, but that's only in the front camera. If you switch to the back camera, the portrait mode won't work. Keep that in mind. And also the 48 megapixel mode is not working properly, because once you switch to the 48 megapixel mode, the pictures coming out with the 48 megapixel mode are 3.2 megapixel for some reason. But yes, with the normal photo mode, it takes 12 megapixel photos, no issues with that. Front camera videos up to 1080p 30 fps. And if you switch to the rear camera, you can shoot videos up to 4K 30 fps over here. We also have the pro mode for shooting photos in pro mode, of course. So yeah, the slow motion option is also there. The night mode may not work, I'm not really sure. So yeah, 4K 30 fps with the rear camera you can shoot, no issues with that. But you can also install separate cameras like the GcamGo and stuff. They work really fast and snappy way. And you do have the face retouching option. You can install this GcamGo separately, and taking pictures with this GcamGo is pretty fast. As you can see, the shutter speed is pretty good. As you can see, takes all the photos super fast, no issues whatsoever. And all the photos coming out with this GcamGo is 12 megapixels, so no issues with the camera quality. The quality is just great with GcamGo or the ANX camera itself, of course. So no issues with the camera quality. But right now, let me jump into the customizations. Inside Fireworks, this is how the customizations look. And of course, it has this yellow colorish tint. I don't know if you will like that, but I like this kind of customization panel. This is very colorful. And in the themes, we have the Monet engine, and from here we have the use black theme option. So once you're using the dark theme, the background is completely gray or something. Yes, you can change the colors to like the bluish, greenish kind of tints from the display settings, but you don't get the like dark or AMOLED kind of black. But you can use this use black option if you want the AMOLED kind of black. You can change the chroma factor, the white luminance, everything from right here. We have the extra theming option. We have the icon pack changing option, then the icon shapes. Also we get the body font changing option over here. Let me go back. We have the lock screen clock style. You can change the lock screen clock style to whatever you want. By default, I haven't touched it because I like the Android 12 kind of lock screen clock, and yes, this looks very, very beautiful to me at least. So yeah, I didn't change it. We have the force lock screen clock to the small one, and we have the settings dashboard kind of changing option. Enable wallpaper zoom option is there if you want to enable that. We also have the quick setting clock picker. So if you want to change this kind of clock over here, you can choose it to be ColorOS or something. And once you do that, as you can see, the quick setting clock has changed, but I like the default one, the Spark clock one. So this is looking really good, I would say. And we have the notification headers, the vibrate on toggle touch. Then the require unlocking to use sensitive tiles toggle is there. We also have the show brightness slider and quick setting panel. And on the bottom, brightness slider is also there. As you can see right now, it is appearing on the bottom. Okay, so the material dismiss button is also there for the notifications. And we have the animation styles and stuff. Then we have the quick setting, quick pull down, running services, etc. You can enable it if you want to. The artwork, media background, and the music ticker. Right now, let's jump to the lock screen, and here we have the always on display scheduling option. You can schedule the always on display if you don't want it to be enabled all day. And we have the lock screen charging info, the charging animation, and yes, the lock screen charging info does show up. I have checked it and it works 100% of the time while charging, of course. And we have the media artwork for the lock screen and the pulse. And let me go back from here. We have the status bar. Here we have the VoLTE and VA Wi-Fi icon customizer, and you can really customize it once you have enabled your VoLTE SIM over here. And the colored status bar icons are enabled by default, but I disabled it for my convenience. And the combined signal icons are there. Clock and date kind of customization is there. Also, there are a lot of battery icon customization. There is the RL and the big dotted circle, etc. kind of battery icons. So I like it. Battery percentage, you can have it hidden or inside the icon or outside the icon. And we have the show network traffic in status bar. Left padding, right padding, you can choose that too if the logos over here on the status bar are a lot to the corner for your device for some reason. Right now, let me jump into the gestures. We have the double tap to wake and the double tap to sleep as well. Yes, the double tap to wake, as you can see, it is enabled, but still the double tap to wake, if you're noticing, it's just not working for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but yeah. Once the always on display is disabled, this one actually works. Let me show you. I had the always on display enabled before this. So right now, if I double tap, as you can see, it is working 100% of the time. So this is great that the always on display actually wakes up once you double tap. But yeah, once you have the always on display enabled, the lock screen does not wake up with the double tap to wake. Brightness control is also there, so you can slide a finger on the status bar to actually increase or decrease the brightness of the screen. This is again very handy feature. I definitely like this feature. The lock screen toggle torch is there, and we have the volume rocker wake in the reorient and stuff. Let me go back to the MISC settings. Here we have the game space, and this you can enable for gaming experience or better gaming experience. The ad block option is there, so you can enable it if you want to, but I haven't. The two-step icon is there, show CPU info option is there, and the screen of animation you can also change to CRT or scale. Then the toast animation is of course there, and as you can see, plethora of animations are there. Heads up you can enable and customize it thoroughly, and the in-call vibrations are also there. The notification light, the battery light, everything you can customize from the MISC settings. Inside power menu, we have the power restart and the advanced reboot options. Also, you can enable the settings, lockdown, emergency kind of options if you want to. So that's all the customizations present on this ROM. Right now, let me go into the display settings. We have the brightness level, the adaptive brightness, and here we have the lock screen kind of settings. There we have the always show time and info or the always on display enabling or disabling option. Now inside dark theme, we have these theme colors. Let me show you, there are plethora of colors. Let me actually go into it. We have the material ocean system, then the ChalkOS, baked green, etc. But the pitch black option, you have to go into the theme option inside customization. Then from there, you can enable that dark black or something like that. Then you can get the pitch black background. Then we have the font size, the display size, and the DPI. Night light you can also customize from right here, and the colors are set to boosted, but you can also change the color balance. The RGB control you get thoroughly, and we have the auto rotate screen, then the display cutout. Prevent accidental wake up or pocket detection is also there. The wake up on plug, disabling or enabling option is also there. The ambient display wake and stuff you can enable from right here if you want to. Let me go back to the sound settings. Here is how it looks like. We have all these different panels, and then we have the volume panel timeout too. Then we have the ringtone vibration pattern changing option. Let me scroll down more. We have the touch sound, touch vibration, etc. Charging sound, charging vibration, power app volume control, and the screenshot sound enabling or disabling option. There we also have the Mi sound enhancer, And once you enable that, you do have the youth edition option, and the sound quality via the headphone jack and Bluetooth as well is just amazing. No issues whatsoever with the sound quality here. We also have this clear speaker option. If for some reason your speaker sounds bad, then you can enable this option and it will clear your speakers. Inside battery settings, this is how it looks like. And talking about the battery, let me talk about the charging as well. The 33-watt fast charging I have tried, but of course this device supports up to 18 to 20 watts fast charging. That is working fine. And yes, the device gets a little bit hot while charging, like from 0 to 100 with a fast charger, but that's totally fine. And it charges pretty quick. And I would say, talking about the battery life, you can get about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time. I have been using the Accu battery app, but I think it didn't show, yes, as you can see, it didn't update yet. That's why it shows the default values. But yeah, I would say inside health, as you can see right now, I have about 75% battery health left. The battery life should be good enough. You can get about 5 to 6 hours of screen on time here. No issues with that. Now let's talk about the security. Here we have the face unlock and the fingerprint scanner both. While setting up the device right now on the newer Android 12 ROMs, you have to set up the face unlock, otherwise you can't complete the setup or something. Once you set up with the face unlock, you can go into the security settings, and from here you can add your fingerprints, and that should work super fine. And I have added both fingerprint scanner and the face data, and right now it is working perfectly fine with the face unlock as well, that I have already showed you. And in the settings over here, we have the quick unlock, then the lock screen timeout or lock after screen timeout, and we have the app lock too. And let me show you, in this app lock we have the protected apps section. So as you can see, plethora of options are there. You can lock any particular app, or you can search for any particular app just like this. But for some reason the Google Photos app doesn't appear over here, and you can't lock it for some reason. Even on the Evolution X I have noticed that. But yeah, and the auto lock timeout is also there, and we have the collapse notification option. So let me actually show you how this works. And once you open the lock tab, it will show you to enter your PIN or your fingerprint scanner data. And once you tap the fingerprint scanner, let me actually do that. As you can see, it unlocks super fine. So yeah, the app lock is working perfectly fine, and that's just great for a device like the Redmi Note 7 Pro. Also talking about some basic stuff, let me actually show you. The IR Blaster is working perfectly fine if you're noticing, so no issues with the IR Blaster on this ROM. The DRM info shows as L1, so streaming Netflix or Amazon Prime videos in 1080p should not be an issue over here. Also, the Safetynet passes right out of the box. Banking apps are not a problem right out of the box on the latest SparkOS on the Redmi Note 7 Pro. Also, in the recents panel, this is how it looks like. We have the screenshot, lens and the clear all option. You can customize this panel from the launcher settings, of course, and you can clear all the apps from right here. And talking about the RAM management and stuff, it's great. I have tested it. It's good enough. Fairly 4 to 5 apps. If it keeps in memory, that's pretty much fine in my opinion. But if you want to see, let me actually open a couple of apps and show you. So right now, as you can see, I have opened a lot of apps in memory. And if I open them one by one, Chrome is still in memory. Facebook is still in memory, and Twitter app still in memory. Instagram, as you can see, is still in the RAM, and YouTube app is also in the RAM. So no issues with the memory management performance. And yes, you can switch between apps just like this. And yes, everything is buttery smooth over here. No issues whatsoever. And here are the end-to-end Geekbench score with the CPU stress test on this particular ROM. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the latest SparkOS version 12.1 on the Redmi Note 7 Pro. I feel this is one of the best ROMs out there for the Redmi Note 7 Pro as of right now, based on Android 12 of course. And I have been pretty much enjoying this ROM on this particular device. And give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, share this video with your friends if you like it, and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. This is Steve from KTN Tech signing off for today, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye now.